What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Inside D3 show. D3.com. Also, all right. Ooh, my knee. Okay. Watch all of our episodes. You can listen to them on the podcast at iTunes. Send help. Send help. If it's your. This is crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Inside D3 show. I'm your host, Morgan Cheatham, back with a brand new intro for you guys. If you're one of our new viewers, then thank you for checking us out for the first time. If you're one of our day one viewers, then we appreciate you sticking around since the beginning. So before we get started today, make sure you check us out on our website, InsideD3.com. Follow us on our Instagram and Twitter at D3Inside. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Inside D3 Athletics, where you can find all of our episodes as well. If you happen to be on the go and can't watch our videos, you can listen to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and Anchor. Also, be sure to check out the Mascot of the Week with Sam and any news that might drop in the meantime as well. And we got some good stuff planned for you guys for the summer, so we're definitely looking forward to that as well. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys, so hopefully you enjoy the show. Today we have Andrew Curiel with us. He is the Assistant Director of Admissions and the Athletic Recruit Liaison at the College of Mount St. Vincent of the Skyline Conference in New York City. Andrew, how are you doing today, man?
What's up, Morgan? I'm doing well, bro. Nice to see you, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Glad you could come on with us. So give us a little bit of, a background on you, give us a timeline of, some of the things that you've done, some of your involvements, college, and, a little bit of your playing experience as well. Talk about all of those for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. I lived here my whole life, played sports, basketball and baseball primarily. And then I really found my niche in high school for basketball. My junior year was a big turn in terms of development for me personally and athletically. We got a great coach from a high school in the Bronx, no, high school in Harlem, I believe, Rice High School. His name was Dwayne Mitchell. And he came over and changed our entire program in terms of credibility. We won the championship his first year. We won city, state, and then state federation. So it was just like a total turn in the program. And with that, I got the urge to continue to play basketball. So I looked at my college offers. I didn't get recruited anywhere. Didn't get any athletic scholarship, but I did get one interest from the College of Mount St. Vincent. And with that, the coach really liked how I played. I was never the most athletic person. I was more of the grinder, rebounds, put it back up, set your screens, a little mid pull-up jump shot type of guy. I really did all the dirty work to make everyone else look better. And the opportunity came to play college basketball in the Bronx. So it was important for me to stay close to home because it's only my mom and my grandma in my life. So it was important for me in that aspect. And then the aspect just to finish college, I'm sure we'll get into it, but I'm the first person in my family to graduate college with a bachelor's degree. And then I even went on to play overseas in Ireland and to get my master's degree and play professional basketball. So basketball has been kind of the instrument I've been using to put me in certain positions to succeed. And with basketball, I've started a nonprofit organization called BU Stay True in the Bronx, where myself, my college teammate, my roommate in college, we do basketball camps every summer, and we give back to the youth what's something that we didn't have when we were younger. So basketball has really just been always something that's consistent in my life, and I'm just finding out new ways how to use that to motivate and inspire others moving forward.
I love it, man. Definitely, I kind of can relate to you a little bit in just terms of coming into a D3 school. Like, obviously, a lot of people, especially coming into D3 schools, they're not going to be highly recruited. And, once you do find that niche and you find, a place where you can fit, I feel like it's great to thrive in those places too. That's probably the easiest place to thrive is when you can find that fit and really, play your role and do some of the things that you can do and find yourself. I think that's something that you've been able to do for sure is find some things that you've been able to do not only for yourself but for your community as well. So I want to
100%.
talk a little bit about just the role that you have as the Assistant Director of Admissions and the Athletic Recruit Liaison. So tell me a little bit about what you do in both of those positions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was pulled onto the team after I finished my master's in Ireland around July. So I'm probably coming up on a year now that I've been in the role. I've been so fortunate enough to be put in a role where I could be that bridge, that gap to help students transition into college. As an assistant director for admission, what we do is we go to high schools, do college fairs, conferences, high school visits, things like that, and basically talk about what College of Mount St. Vincent has to offer and how it could be a right fit for those type of students. So specifically, I'm responsible for all Long Island students along with Queens students as my primary market. So I travel out there, stay in some hotels, go to high school, probably go to 4 to 5 in the day. We'll round it out to about 20, 25 a week. And then I'm also fortunate enough, since I am an alumni of Mount St. Vincent and I play basketball, I have that understanding of what it means to transition from a high school athlete to a college student athlete. So I'm fortunate to work with those students as well. And our students come from all over. They come from California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Vermont. They come from all over the states. So it's cool in that aspect as well, because they're making not only a sport decision, but they're making a life transition as well. They're going to be leaving home. And not like me, like I left 20 across the borough. They're leaving X amount of hours. So it's important for me to understand, and it's important in my role that I got to help them not only get here, but I got to help them all the way through their 4 years.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think that's one of those things that you've probably known a lot about is moving, especially going overseas and things like that. So talk to me a little bit
Tough.
about that journey overseas, man. I want to know everything about it. What'd you learn? How was it?
Oh, tough. I had a Zoom with someone on LinkedIn. Highly recommend for all the young student athletes and young professionals that want to get into wherever they want to go. Get on LinkedIn and connect. This guy, Jacoby Bonner, I believe, he reached out to me and said, hey, like I saw, you were in Ireland pursuing your master's, playing pro ball. I kind of want to do something like that too. So he reached out. We were on a Zoom a couple of days ago and, just talking about it. And to answer your question, the transition was it was so different in every capacity. Like I said, I've been in the Bronx my whole life. I went to college in the Bronx. I have never felt the need to leave the Bronx. As a New York City kid, we kind of always, rep the New York City and the borough as kind of like a place like, oh, I don't need to go anywhere else. This is New York City. And I have done everything I could have at Mount St. Vincent and in the Bronx. I ran my basketball camps. I did college. I impacted the community. I did all of that. So I wanted to do something else. And the opportunity to get a free master's, I was out, because you can't, you can't get the opportunity in a lot of places. Yeah. So this great program. It was my last college basketball game. We lost in the semis to Purchase College, February 22nd. And I got an email forwarded to me by my coach, James Mooney, and it was basically an application to something called Sport Changes Life. And this program takes U.S. student athletes, regardless of division 1, 2, or 3, basketball student athletes, and brings them to Ireland to get a postgraduate degree, mentor the youth, play professional basketball, along with another college season. So that was literally everything that I wanted to do. Like, we got bumped in the semifinals. I wasn't ready to let basketball go, so I had the opportunity to do that. I had the opportunity to get a master's for free. And then I'm kind of the person who kind of like, it gives myself challenges in a way. So I kind of looked up percentages on the percentage of Hispanic males that have a master's degree. And I noticed it was only 4%. So I was like, boom, that's my calling right there, to show the people that I'm around, my friends, my family, the kids I impact, that it's possible to do great things. You just got to find those certain opportunities, and you got to kind of just run with it and find your wings. So the transition to Ireland, people are different, food is different, school is different, basketball is different, but it was fun to learn because, college, you learn everything that you think you're supposed to learn. But it was my first opportunity to adult in a real life setting. I was on my own. I had 2 other Victory Scholars with me, but it was an awesome time because, things that were hard in September, they were easy by end November. So I got to see that progression. And now I have an app called Time Hop, and it shows me everything I've done on social media in the past years. And now I see, things in Ireland. I'm like, oh man, like I actually missed that. Or like, people here won't really understand that as much. So I send it to my friends and be like, yo, you remember when we did this or this? So it's comforting to see that I was able to make it through that transition period.
Yeah, that's a dope opportunity. Not a lot of people get that for sure. So
Not at all. Not at all. Had to jump on it.
yeah, had to. So I know you got the Be Stay True program. So I want you to talk a lot about that, and tell us how important it is for you to just serve your community going back home.
Oh, 100%, 100%. BU Stay True started 2015 of May. So literally, my boy Nico, him and I were college roommates from freshman year all the way up to senior year, and we were literally in the dorm room. He was playing Call of Duty. I was on my bed scrolling through Instagram, and my boy Ed Nelson, he's a step coach, step king, honestly, in the Bronx. And he was hosting his own step camp. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, of course he has credibility, and so he can, do and run a camp. So I was like, you know what, Nico, like, think about this. We're college basketball players, D3. Let's try to do a basketball camp. Like, he's played AAU his whole life. A team that started out as Team Scan, but now it's a Pro Scholar athlete. So Cole Anthony's been through there, Mo Bamba, those type of guys. So I was like, you have connections. I have connections back home as well with my community. Let's just see what we could do. And to be honest with you, I failed my major, biology, my first semester of college. That was my first F ever. So again, kind of creating that challenge again for me. I wanted to come back from that. So mentally, I changed my major to business just because Trudy came from the chair of the department, Nina Apasano. She was like, relax, like, we'll figure it out. And I started taking regular business courses. I took principles of marketing, principles of management. It started for me. You know what? I think I could do this. And then that's when the culmination of it came in May. I'm like, Nico, I think I got enough confidence to do the business side because I took these classes and I can actually implement what I've been learning and put it to practice. And you have your connections with basketball. Let's just see what we could do. And it's just crazy to see the growth. From May till July, we ran our first camp, July 16, 2015. We went on booster.com. We created a t-shirt, sold those. We sold like over 100 different shirts and made at least $500 to $600. So that was the way we got our profit. And then, bought cones, bought basketballs, bought trophies, bought certificates, bought all of the things that we needed. And then I went back home. I went to Scanlon High School, and they had the opportunity to let me rent the gym for free because I was an alumni. So that's perfect. No cost there. And we ran the camp. It was 25 kids. And it was just, I look back on the pictures now, it was so fulfilling because it was like, we did it. We put our mind to something. And for me personally, I got over that failure of failing my biology major and understanding that doesn't define me. The progression and the transition and the readjustment, that's what defines me and what motivates people. So now we're going into year 6. We've done a summer camp every summer, one day, and they've all been successful in terms of engagement and in terms of improving the children's lives through sport. The culmination of BU Stay True is to, build that character into basically themselves. We to do it through sport because through basketball, through sport, you can learn so many lessons. And, I learned so many lessons through sport changes life. And it's the same thing with BU Stay True. Be you, stay true. Be yourself, stay true to what has made you you. And now we're going into our 6th year, with everything going on with COVID-19. Instead of taking a step back, let's take a step forward. Let's readjust, and we're hosting our first virtual online camp July 19th, and we're gonna figure it out. It's 59 days away, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be another transition and another learning experience for all of us.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad that you guys are still trying to do something, especially with stuff going on. It's a good opportunity for
100%.
you to even just keep it going. So that's awesome. So I want to
Thank
talk.
you.
We talked a little bit about just how sports have changed your life, but let's dive a little deeper into it and just tell me, what type of impact it's been on you, coming through, high school, college, playing basketball, going overseas and playing. What has that done for you?
Oh man, I mean, the regular ones. It learned me how to be a good teammate, learn how to communicate with others, learn how for others, learn how to work on a team. But I think for me, the biggest thing was going through adversity and being able to connect with others through sport and finding. So for the first one, that right, understanding that everything's not always going to work out. You have a game plan. You go into sport, game plan falls through because someone had a great day. Right? It's just like, oh wow, like we actually got to be a lot better than what we thought. Planning is planning is great, but we got to be able to execute. And the other one was late to sport. Oftentimes, and you can see it throughout history, and I've seen it as well, things that separate us as humans, as race, gender, sexuality, everything like that, there's always one common ground that brings people together. And low key, that is sports. So I have found through my playing experience through basketball and baseball and being a wrestling fan too, I'm a big, huge pro wrestling fan. I have been able to make new friends, have better conversations because I understand where they're off that initial that they like sport. And it's just been comforting to see that, sport could do a lot more than just a win or a loss. It could influence your life. You can make new friends. You can learn to adjust. There's just so much with sports. And I have been so grateful to what sports has done for me. And now I'm starting to understand what I can do more for others without even playing, which has been more influential. So it's surreal for me.
Yeah, I'm really just proud of you, to be honest, to be able to have that type of platform without even being, a professional athlete. Everybody feels like you got to have some type of, professional background and be, a famous athlete to have some type of impact. But you've shown that you've been able to do that through other avenues. And like you said, sports is a perfect place to do that.
100%. I was watching Gary Vee is one of the best dudes ever. He has this morning TV show on YouTube. Yeah, he's a man. He did Tea with Gary Vee in the morning, and this woman came on, and basically she was saying like, Gary, like I have a small audience, like how do I get more people? And I'm paraphrasing crazy right now, but basically he said, listen, like you don't have a small following, you have a following. Be appreciative of that. Don't focus on the ones that are not following you, listening to you. Focus on the 17 people that are there and then work with them. That's who you want to work with. You want to work with the people who's investing in you. And I've seen that with us. Okay, I'm not a D1 player. Okay, I'm not a professional player playing in Spain. I'm not what is it? Not NBA, the one below it, the development league player. I'm not any of those, but I am, G League. I was going to say the D League, but I'm not any of those players. I'm just Andrew Curiel. I live in the Bronx. I'm a product of the Bronx. I got a college education. I got a master's degree. I play basketball. And I'm just trying to show them, your generation, yo, we can do this. I've done it. I came from where you came from. So now it's time for you to do it as well. Oh, I don't got any siblings. So it's kind of, I guess that's another that understand, like I have to leave this to somebody. Like, yo, you got to go get it next now. And I've seen so many of my friends graduate this past year with master's degree, for, girls and guys. And I'm like, yo, I'm proud. Like I'm like how you're saying you're proud of me. Like, yo, I'm proud because if you some little kid watching right now is probably gonna be like, why would I get a master's degree? Nobody in my neighborhood got a master's degree, right? And it's like more aware of the influence we truly have with social media. We really got to be aware of that. And I think that's where it stems for me to be able to influence people regardless of a big reach or not. If I have a reach, I'm a user and I'm gonna influence people.
No doubt. And I know you talked about degrees, how many you got over there at the career, bro?
Facts. Hold on. Got one right here. I don't got no spot to hang it up yet.
That's all right. Show them off.
Degree from Limerick,
yes, sir.
Limerick, Ireland. And that's from Limerick. So if you think of Limerick, everyone thinks of Dublin, Ireland, right? So Dublin, Ireland is in the northeast. Limerick is southwest. It's basically mad farmland, so it's different for me. But it was a awesome opportunity. I talk about the differences with American classes, with the person I spoke on LinkedIn. And basically the classes are, in America, we're taught in lecture-based classes. Over there is more practice. So like my degrees in marketing and management strategy. We worked with Starbucks. We worked with Johnson & Johnson. We worked with a nonprofit over there. And we learned marketing strategies for them to implement. And now it's crazy. Like my friends in Ireland are like, yo, did you see this? Like they used the marketing strategy we made last year. And it's comforting to see because, you get this in college or high school. You do all the work, you do assignment, and all you get is a grade. And it's like, all right, like that's cool, but like I worked really hard on this. Like I want to see it pay off. That would be comforting for me to see too. So I have my bachelor's in business administration, and then I got my master's in marketing and management strategy. I think I'm done after that.
That's how I feel, man. I'm about to start a master's in the fall, so I'm already ready for the work that goes in. But I think that's great, especially overseas doing that you'll be able to really just put it into practice and really see things happen. You know, that's amazing. That's something that you don't see a lot here. So I want to ask you another question, just
100%.
off of those degrees that you have. You know, how does it feel being a minority and having a master's degree? It's a lot of folks that don't have that. A lot of people can't say that. So how important is it for you to be a minority and to represent for your culture like that?
100%. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because I graduate, Ireland does it different in terms of graduation. They graduate in November, so it's like the last week of October through November, as opposed to America where we graduate in May. So that week, I had to leave work and go to Ireland to get the degree. They sent a letter like in August after we sent in our thesis, and it basically said, you graduated with this. This is your official title. No lie, I saw that. I was so proud. I changed my name on every social media platform to Andrew Curiel MBS, because it's just an understanding. It's kind of like that unspoken presence when you walk in a room or when you speak to somebody. Like after you speak to them, you're like, wait, his name was Doctor, or his name was Andrew Curiel MBS. Like, wow, okay. Like, to me, master's degree, the name don't really care for what you get really doesn't matter, right? I think employers and people, they view it as like, wow, you put in the work to do an extra degree that you did not have to do because you want to do something more with your life, right? I think that's where it stems from. And I think for me, being a minority and Hispanic male in the Bronx, it was for me because I did that fact check, and I checked how the percentage of people, like I said earlier, 4% Hispanic males have a master's degree according to some research from years prior. And I was like, yo, 4%, like I get it, but then it's also, we have to understand that just don't feel the need to go get it, right? And I think people understanding that if we want to be in certain rooms, have certain opportunities to make change and to be with people and sit at a table and feel comfortable, like, yo, this is my spot. I think those master's degrees really do a service to us. And my boy Nico, I'll quote him. He always says, if you're not doing somebody help your current situation, you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Absolutely.
Huge disservice. And I think the other thing that's cool too is, I know you're going to get your master's. You're going to be a young individual with your master's, and I'm the same one. I'm only 24 years old, and I think that's comforting to see too. When you sit in a room with 30-year-olds and up, and they say, "Oh, look at this kid with a master's degree," gives you that credibility, gives you that swagger, and that confidence that you may not have to sit in that room and be comfortable. And I think that's important for me to continue to understand, and for the younger generations to understand as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you made a great point, especially with everything going on with a lot of the police brutality and stuff like that. There's got to be people in that room that are ready to make change, and I know it starts with people like us. You know what I mean? So I think it's great to be able to have this opportunity. It's great to be able to have that platform, and
100%.
to have the credibility in order to talk about things and try to make change, and for people to really believe you. So it's amazing, and I'm ready for the challenge too, man, for sure. So the last question I got for you before we leave is, what
Yep.
made you choose Division 3 in particular? I know you talked a little bit about it, just from not being heavily recruited, but what made you choose it, and how important was Division 3 in your life?
Yeah, for sure. So why D3 for me really stemmed from to continue playing basketball, opportunity to continue to stay close to home, and the opportunity to pursue a college education at an affordable price. The opportunity to continue playing basketball was just important. I wanted to continue doing that I love, passionate about. Of course, every kid's dream is to play college basketball if you're on that route. The opportunity to stay close to home was so important for me, for my mom and my grandma, were in my life. I'm a child as well, so continue to be that basketball mom, that basketball come cheer on their grandson or son, was pivotal and important for me, for them to be a part of that journey, because they've been a part of the journey for 24 years. So why not have them a part of that as well? And then the opportunity to pursue a high education at a school that I'm not plugging. Mount St. Vincent gives tons of merit scholarships, and then plus financial aid. It's incredible, the opportunity that I still have loans. Granted, I'm paying off my loans every month. I do what I got to do, but now what I'm understanding is it's a return on investment, right? I invested X amount of dollars in the Mount St. Vincent, right? So let's just think for a minute. I invested X amount of dollars in the Mount St. Vincent, right? I was able to play college basketball. I was able to attend 2 NCAA conferences. I was able to be the president of SAC. I was able to have, numerous jobs on campus with different departments. I was able to travel overseas. I was able to get a master's degree for free. I was able to play professional basketball. I was able to play college basketball. I was able to start a nonprofit. I got a best friend. I got a brother. I got tons of other friends and connections. From what? From going route. Me, because I'm uses of the opportunities that were there. And I think now that I look back, those 3 things, along with many others and the connections and the friends I got, that's ultimately why I chose D3.
Yeah, because you wouldn't get a lot of those opportunities elsewhere. So, it's definitely good to be appreciative of where you came from and not be discouraged or not be, embarrassed about being a Division III athlete. A lot of people can be a little discouraged and embarrassed about that. So we definitely appreciate you for coming on, my guy. We wish you the best with everything
100%.
you got going on. If you guys want to talk to Andrew about getting into some, getting into college in Mount St. Vincent, hit him up. I'm plugging you right now when we get a chance. But definitely, if you need him, let him know. Andrew, we appreciate you for coming on, man. Thanks for taking some time to talk with us, and hopefully we can talk a little bit in the future, man.
Absolutely. We'll connect on LinkedIn and Instagram and all that. Morgan, thank you very much for the opportunity. We spoke about days prior. Continue doing this. Continue your passion. And I didn't even know you're going to get your master's, but I hope the energy that I have spurred onto you and you continue to pursue that master's. It's going to get tough. Just continue to have that understanding, that the deeper reasoning of why you're to motivate others and to ultimately put yourself in a better position moving forward, for sure.
Definitely, man. You definitely inspired me just from having this conversation. It makes me feel a lot better coming into, a new situation like that. So I definitely appreciate your insight too, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, bro.
All right, you too, bro. Take it easy.
So that does it for another episode of the Inside D3 Show. Thank you guys again for checking in. Stay tuned for more episodes. We drop them every Wednesday on all of our platforms. Also, stay connected on all of our platforms for any stories that might drop during the week as well. And also stay locked in for the Mascot of the Week with Sam V. Rock right after this, and you do not want to miss that. So, once again, I'm Morgan Cheatham. This is the Inside D3 Show, and we are signing off.